So good morning. As you know, my name is Charlie Cadbury. You'll meet Dipesh very shortly. I'm the CEO of a company called Say It Now. Now, I'm not going to talk exclusively about stickers, but if you run a campaign with us, there's a good chance we'll mold you some stickers. At Say It Now, what we're very well known for is giving brands a voice. And as we well know, the best way to create a trusted relationship is by a back and forward conversation. But where has this all come from? You know, what's led us to this ability to build these infinite conversations at infinite scale? So if we look back at the history of the interface, how do us humans engage with technology? This changes about every 20 years. In the 70s, if you'd wanted to have access to computing, you'd have had to learn the command line interface. And so it was kind of available to a very select few. And this was democratized during the 80s with the advent of the graphical user interface. We were given Windows and a mouse to click around the screen. And that democratized access to computing to the masses. Then a little bit later, the World Wide Web came along and connected all of these computers together. And what that did is it gave us access to information, and information to all. And suddenly, we had democratized access to both computing and information. What happened with the mobile revolution is that we were able to take these amazing supercomputers wherever we were, right? And we were able to get access to this amazing computing technology and all the information in the world through our pockets. What's happened now with the advent of the voice interface is we're able to get access to all of this wonderful computing and all the information in the world just by using our voice. And the reason that's really compelling is us as humans are always looking for the path of least resistance. It's far easier and more efficient to communicate using your voice. We talk about 150 words a minute, but we can tap into our black mirrors only at about 50 words a minute. So it's more efficient to get things done. And if we look at the landscape, what's happened? We've now got about 500 million devices, 500 million Alexa devices, these voice-enabled devices in people's homes. So 60% of UK homes have a smart speaker, about 90 million US homes have a smart speaker, and these are being used more and more. They're an integral part of the household. If I go into the kitchen and it's a rainy day, I'll say to my three kids, can you put your coats on because it's raining outside? They will come back to me and say, Alexa, what's the weather? I've lost all agency in the kitchen, and I'm no longer seen as the source of truth. It's been devolved to this other very important person in the household. We've seen now these assistants, they're gaining in popularity, and they're taking more and more of the time. So people are spending 35% more time this year than last year engaging with their assistants. And they're all going to get a massive upgrade. So everything you've seen in generative AI, kind of chat GPT, these type of wonderful conversations back and forward, they're now going to be incorporated into your favorite voice assistants. This is all kind of released last week at Andy Jassy's shareholder letter to Amazon shareholders. And we know that what people use these smart speakers for is listening to streaming audio and asking questions. And we can see this green line here just shows the kind of the march, the rise and rise of streaming audio being listened to on smart speakers. And so we now know that more than half of all digital audio streams are listened to on smart speakers. And what's happening is forward-thinking brands are taking advantage of this idea, this ability to have these genuine conversations and turn on audio as an engagement channel. That's not for me to tell you all about this. It's my great pleasure to introduce you to Dipesh Patel.
Thanks, Charlie. Funny hearing about your kids. So I've got 3 kids, and same. I'll tell them to put their coats on when we're going out, and they'll challenge that. They'll speak to Alexa and ask Alexa what the weather is, and validate my recommendation. So I have no authority in the household either. My name is Dipesh. I am the head of acquisition at Tesco Mobile, and I've been there for 1.5 years now. I was formerly at Sky for 10 years, working in digital, and prior to that, I had worked agency side when I started out in media. I guess to offer some context for today, last year at Tesco Mobile was very much about recruitment, reconfiguring the team, navigating a restructure, and getting to a place of best practice. This year, we've set ourselves a target to strive for best in class, and that gives you a bit of context about what I'm going to share today. So, the history of the company, so we turned 20 last year. We celebrated our 20th birthday last year. we had a really strong year of trading last year. We're having an even better year of trading this year. Q1 has been one of our best Q1s ever. We have 5.5 million customers, 4 million are paid monthly, 1.5 are pay-as-you-go. And we are part of Tesco Group, and you probably heard Tesco Group announce results being announced last week. So all really positive. I think it was pre-tax profit was up quite significantly year on year. So all doing well. I'm here to talk to you about radio today. So Tesco Mobile, quite mature and established in the radio space, but we're always looking to try new things and test and learn. So Say It Now and Actionable Ads is something that we explored in November in 2023. And I'd like to take a moment to thank my colleague over there, Andy Ward. He got this off the ground, and then also our MediaCom team and our Say It Now team as well, all been really helpful and supportive in the journey. Okay. Right, so the campaign. So what was our challenge? Our challenge was we were planning radio, all doing well. We had a good idea of our inventory. We were planning GRPs, impressions, reach, but what we were lacking was the performance data of that activity. We wanted to make it work harder. So our challenge was our objective was to have more feedback and improve our acquisition efficacy. Now, we did have econometrics through MediaCom, so we got a view of ROI on a periodic basis, but the frequency is quite low. We got a wave of data every 6 months in which we could look at the ROI of the channel overall and that 6-month period, but not the individual campaigns and any other granularity. So our strategy was to use Say It Now within our digital radio space, and make that activity more measurable and be able to get that real-time information to optimize our activity along the way. So I'll share this with you now. You should have, when the clicker processes. So we've got an example of activity that's actually live currently. So this is our current campaign. It's an optimized version. There's been various iterations along the way since November 2023, so I can play this now so you can hear it for yourself.
Stay connected with Tesco Mobile and put your contract price on ice. Right now, save £288 on the epic Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, powered by AI with 12 gigs of data, for just $49.99 a month with club card prices. And it will stay that price for your whole contract. That's value frozen in. This is Supermarket Mobile. Search Tesco Mobile. Every little helps.
Ends 19th of May. Club card and 36-month credit agreement required. Frozen for contract duration. Terms at tescomobile.com/terms.
To find out more, just say, Alexa, open Tesco Mobile. That's Alexa, open Tesco Mobile.
Okay, so that's the ad. So you heard that. It's a standard 30-second radio ad, and then you've got the voice prompt to engage with the skill. User engages with the skill, and the skill asks, would you like to find out more about offers? Shall I send you a link? User says yes. And then you've also got the option where a user owns a smart speaker with a screen, you've also got the option to serve a creative as well, which makes it even more engaging. And then after some seamless voice interactions and a single click from the notification that gets pushed to your phone, users land on the landing page relating to the ad that they heard in the advert. So the interesting bit, the data. The data, right. So I should probably take a moment to explain the circles here. So impressions is the radio ad being played, sessions is a skill being engaged, and goal is a link being sent to the user's phone. And then the metrics in between, you've got voice through rate, which is obviously the rate of ad being played to session, and then goal conversion is obviously skill to link being sent to phone. Now, we're doing really well in this space at the moment, the voice through rate. In fact, I think we're our voice through rate is 50 times higher than the Say It Now benchmark. And I think that's largely due to our offer and the fact that our offer is backed by club card prices and it's quite compelling. And our goal conversion is bang on average for Say It Now. But end to end, those two metrics combined, what this means is that we're generating loads of links to people's phones and lots of people are engaging with their ads and we're getting some great performance out of this. The other thing that we're doing as well, so for the current campaign that you just heard, we've got UTM tracking in place. What that means is that we can track website visits from the links being sent and also sales as well. And that's really useful insight to know how many people actually reach the website and to know also how many people are purchasing as well. Now, you probably have to have quite a lot of weight behind the campaign in order to track that level of sales data, but it just opens up that scope to be able to optimize your ads to sell conversion, which for me is really exciting. Being a digital marketer previously, to plan, test and learn and optimize radio activity in the same way that you would with digital is really exciting. And with that, I'm going to pass back to Charlie, and Charlie's going to take us through the accessibility and presentation of that data.
Cheers.
Hopefully this works.
Right, so look, the wonderful thing we're able to here is, as Dipesh said, look, there's real-time information coming back. So anyone running campaigns, access to a real-time dashboard, and we can meet once a week and run through this data. What this means is, on a standard campaign, you'd be really lucky to get kind of a 6-week feedback loop between the campaign running, some kind of post-campaign analysis, and then the ability to use that information to then plan the next campaign. Now the ability to run this on a weekly basis allows us to make almost 52 different iterations of that campaign that's running throughout the year rather than 4 or 5 historically. Having all those ideas about how to optimize the media, whether that's day parting, A/B testing creative, and changing up the engagement within the skill, allows you to constantly optimize and improve the performance of the campaigns. And that's the kind of the massive benefit you get from running these actual campaigns. And what we've seen here, specifically with Tesco Mobile, is we've seen a 4 times rise in performance. We've only been running since November because we've been able to get that, the teams working better and better and understanding what can be changed, what can be tested, what can we test and learn here. And so what we're really seeing is, with these actionable ads, we're able to get kind of audio advertisers to take advantage of this real-time data and insight and allow them to use audio as a growing channel, specifically here for user acquisition. So we have a couple of minutes left, and I'd like to invite Dipesh back to talk about, what's next. I'll come to the audience for any kind of Q&A in a second, but specifically, what's next? What are you thinking about doing next?
Lots. Talk to Mediacom and you guys only this week, not because we're at this event, but coincidentally we're planning our summer activity. The questions I've asked are, should we be adapting our standard 30-second radio ad for the home environment in the same way that you might do for drivers in a car, for example? So that's the question that we've asked. Also, there's some key events happening over summer as well, like Euros, for example. Is there any scope for adaptation there as well? That's one question. The other one I've asked is, should we be optimizing to a certain time of day? My assumption is that in the evening time, people are more likely to engage with the skill. So does it make sense to shift inventory there? But then also with that question I've asked, can we frequency cap as well? Because we don't want to serve it over inventory in the evening, get lower reach and higher frequency, because that's no good. Working with 1 million ads, so speaking to them about dynamic creative targeting, depending on the parameters available, so it might be things like location, for example, or audience, if they've got that capability. So just working with them to understand whether there's any strength in use case to be able to do that, to justify the additional cost. And then finally, the one that's quite interesting is the ability to throw from a DRTV ad to a smart speaker. So I've seen a few examples, and I know that this is in the making here in the UK. But if you imagine a normal TV ad with an overlay to say, in our case, say Alexa, open Tesco Mobile. There's a lot to think about. Part of me thinks, will the ad be too busy? Is there too much clutter? Are there too many call to actions? But I'm also thinking that, well, actually, if you execute it in the right way, that could be quite cool. There's obviously a question of smart speaker ownership, and then also proximity as well. So, is there any wastage there? But yeah, it's not been done before here in the UK, so just interested to know whether we can do it.
Magic. So lots to think about, lots to jump away from. We were hoping to get a few questions from the audience, but I think we're to time. So thank you very much.